My name is Lisa Davis, and I am the President and CEO of Family Resources. I've been with the organization since 2010, and we are really blessed to have the opportunity to assist families in multiple counties in the Tampa Bay area. Well, I've been a therapist for over half of my life, and so I've always been passionate about work with kids. In particular, I worked for Family Resources in the 90s, and I actually was a counselor at their shelter, our shelter in St. Petersburg. And as my career took me through different paths, I just always had a passion for the work, the care, and the quality of services at Family Resources. And I came back as a director and worked my way up to the CEO role when our previous CEO retired. So it's an organization that has just always been part of my heart, and I'm so fortunate to be here and to provide the impact that I do every day. Family Resources was founded in 1970 from a group of DJs who basically were getting a lot of calls from kids in the community, and they just needed help. And at the time, we had a lot of runaways. And so Family Resources was brought together by a group of volunteers, and we are an organization that provides shelters and counseling so that kids have responsive quality programs and safe places, and that families that are torn apart by any kind of crisis or trauma have a place in the community that can help support them and get them through anything that they need while they're going through tough times. Family Resources operates programs in 2 different counties. We have approximately 100 employees at any given time. And we have 3 shelters that are 24/7, 365 days a year. So we have passionate staff that are always working every holiday, during hurricanes, anything you can think of to make sure the kids in our community are safe and have a safe place to be. Family Resources provides 3 runaway homeless youth shelters or shelters for any families that are in crisis. We serve just the kids ages 10 to 17 in Clearwater, St. Petersburg, and all of Manatee County. Each year we serve over 400 youth in our 3 shelters. They can stay in our shelters for up to 35 days. Sometimes they stay longer if they're homeless. And so basically it equates to over 3,000 bed nights that we provide every single year for kids that need a safe place to lay their head. We also have 3 counseling centers because we want the families to continue to get services and support, whether it is to prevent them from being in shelter or after they leave shelter. We have 2 after-school programs in Pinellas Park and St. Pete so that kids have a safe place to be after school, and we can help them with their academic success. Additionally, we serve over 100 kids in our after-school programs. We have a street outreach program. So collectively, we're serving up to about 1,000 kids every single year in each of our programs. And we have numerous community programs that are really about positive youth development, character building, and just making sure the kids in our community have the best opportunity for success. We consider kids successful if they have a safe place to be, and we are building bridges and connections with other supportive networks for them. We really want to keep families together. We want to see kids go to school and graduate and be successful. And so for us, I think success is on a continuum because every kid comes in with a different type of circumstance. But our number one priority is always to just keep kids safe and make sure that they always have hope for a better tomorrow. In our after-school programs, we have a strong emphasis in the arts for our kids. We feel like self-expression through art is really important for them. And so they can do anything from painting or pictures, or they'll make things. Anyway, our kids are taught how to do these things. We bring in local artists. They're encouraged to really work through trauma and their vulnerabilities through expression of art. We have numerous kids come back and tell us how just a brief stay in our shelter changed their life and changed their trajectory. Just before the pandemic, we had a gentleman call us and wanted to come back and visit our St. Pete shelter. He was 41 years old, living in Connecticut, and he said when he was 11, he was in our shelter for a week because of family situations. He was living in a shed in the back of his home, and it changed his life. And so he's just one example of many of not only the impact that we've been able to make for vulnerable children over the last 55 years, but the lasting impression we've made on them when just one single adult gives a hand up and shows how much they care about these kids. It seems like we've really fallen on tough economic times, and so the most vulnerable families and kids are the kids that we're serving, not only in our shelters, but in our Safe Place to Be's, in our resource center, where we have a team of 3 people supported federally and by our local Pinellas County funding that really does support young people that are housing insecure or street homeless. We provide them with a place to go where they can look for jobs, they can do their laundry, they can just get out of the heat or the cold, they can take showers, they can get their mail there. We meet these kids where they are, and we give them a supportive, caring hand and a trusting adult. And one of the populations that we're really passionate about is our LGBTQ youth, who are disproportionately represented in our homeless population. And so we find ourselves always making sure that our LGBT youth have a safe place to be where they can be their authentic selves and feel safe. One of our key funders for Family Resources is the Florida Network for Youth and Family Services. Under the DJJ umbrella, Department of Juvenile Justice, our goal for all of our kids in our counseling and our shelters is to prevent them from going down a road of delinquency or dependency. So we really are front end and preventative services to keep these families intact and keep these kids from making choices that may lead them down a criminal path. So federally, we receive funding from the Department of Health and from ACF so that we can provide a lot of character building, and then obviously our child care food monitoring program. And then on a local level, JWB, Juvenile Welfare Board, is solely responsible for funding our 2 after-school programs, and they also make a significant contribution to our shelters so that we can keep those whole, because anytime you're running 24/7 brick and mortar programs, it's very expensive. So we really appreciate our partners and our funders. Thanks to the support of Bombas, every young person that comes into our shelter gets a pair of socks so that they can have that while they're here. We make sure that the socks have something very supportive for the kids so that they're always encouraged. As well, when we have the proper donations, and some of the things that we'll use our donated funds for is we provide a teddy bear for every kid. Even kids 16 years old, you'd be surprised. They'll come into a shelter and they will want that little stuffed plush to feel secure and safe. And we make sure that they have something that shows that they're welcome, they're supported, and they're cared for. Because Family Resources has a strong partnership with our federal, state, and local funders, all donations that we receive are typically designated directly to the kids that we serve, whether it's for extra care items for them or comfort items. We absolutely encourage our donors to designate to us something that they're passionate about, to the kids that they're passionate about, and then the kids will typically write them a letter and make sure that they know that their funding or their donation was used in a way that really enriched or changed that child's life. Family Resources just celebrated our 55th birthday of serving this community. And as we look forward, our strategy is to continue to refine what we do and not be all things to everyone, but really be the go-to organization for quality services and the things that we think we do well, which is counseling our kids and providing safe places for them. We're going to constantly be the organization that focuses on sustainability and integrity And we do that by doing everything that we do and doing it really, really well. Families can find family resources through our website. They can contact us through an email, info@family-resources.org, and our main number, 727-521-5200. We have absolutely 24/7 response. We always pick up the phones in our shelters, and everything that we do for kids in the community is absolutely free to the families. We never charge a penny for anything that we do.